Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Don't try it till you've had it. This is episode 97 of the Friends and Rivals podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Stephen Wojtowicz,
William Fougere,
Nicholas Larita.
Jesus Christ, why are we so fucking formal tonight? My word in heaven.
I just follow what they're doing.
We go goofy, you make fun of us. We go serious, you make fun of us. We just can't win. So fuck off.
No, I just want to make fun of you all the time. I mean, that's the point.
And I just want to say one thing to you.
This is the 97th fucking episode. You haven't caught on yet?
97.
You're so ridiculous. You know that?
Such a fucking ridiculous amount of episodes.
I can't. How one person can listen to us for 97 episodes is just beyond me.
Well, thanks, Pete.
We know you're the only one that's heard all 97.
No, I'm sure Pete has. Pete, if you have, please let Billy know in a text message so you can let us all know instead of going on Twitter. We would appreciate that. All right, NHL All-Star voting has commenced. The voting is open for additional All-Stars. Go on the Twitter, put the name of the person that you want voted in, and use the hashtag NHL All-Star Vote. Voting ends at 11:59 p.m. on January. So let's talk about the Metropolitan Division. So does anybody else hate that they have to have one person from every fucking team be represented? Does anybody else like that?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
I don't mind it.
What do you mean you don't mind? Why? Because the Devils have been shit for the past.
They would always get short. You know,
for as shitty as the Devils were last year, Jack Hughes still was an all-star. So you get the right person, and he's going to be an all-star. But fucking Kevin Hayes,
It's weird.
Did Philly not? I'm stealing Billy's joke. Did Philly not have anybody else?
Fuck the Flyers.
Fuck the Fly. Yes, fuck the Flyers. First off,
Can we also talk about how there's literally no defensemen in the Metro?
No, not literally, Nick. There are no defensemen right now selected in the Metro.
That's what literally means. That's what literally means. He was correct.
Well, there are.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, what are we supposed to vote in? Like other goalies and forwards? Like, what? Why are we putting in?
It's an all-star game. Why do defensemen have to be on the team?
Well, there are defensemen in other divisions that got selected, except the Metro.
Good. Fuck it. Let's just go with a team of all forwards.
And the Atlantic for that
show
matter.
the league how it's done.
We also talk about like the selections here because Kevin Hayes was an interesting one. Like Brock Nelson's a good. Like he's been the best forward on the Isles for definitely this year. But Barzal's the guy you want in the All-Star game. Like I love Brock, but I mean, how do you not get Barzy in there? Because you got to put somebody else like Kevin Hayes in the game. I mean, come on. People are gonna go. They want to see if you want to make like a face of the NHL, you get guys that like Barzal, and not because he's an Islander, but like he's good with the puck. He's like perfect for the All-Star game where he has to play defense, and he's got the pretty boy face. Like that's the kind of guys. They just fill the whole game with a bunch of young players that they can market. But instead, you're gonna throw in people that like, oh, it's the first time it's All-Star. You're like, who gives a shit? It's the All-Star game. It's not a real game. It's for fun.
Is there any? There's nothing. Do they win money?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they win money for a charity or something.
Do they still win a car for being MVP? They still do that?
Yeah.
From Honda?
Whatever the latest Honda is, I'm sure. Whatever the latest Honda minivan is.
I don't think it was ever the minivan.
Yeah, it was an Odyssey. One time it was an Odyssey.
You're probably right. You are probably right.
They just come grab whatever's in Tom's driveway at the moment.
Honda is a very reliable car, Bill.
Oh, they're not.
I know, I have one.
Jesus, that callback was what, episode 12? Oh my God. Stick around. We're going to talk about how to
better financing.
No, it wasn't
From
that. It was
North Carolina dealerships or something.
no, it was building your equity in your fucking lease.
Oh, right.
That's what it was. Good God in heaven. But I don't know. Did they have more than one goaltender last year? I can't remember for the life of me because I listened to it on the radio, the All-Star game last year.
I don't recall. I mean,
I
maybe
feel like
the
they had
games
to.
are
Do you
8
need more
minutes
than one?
long.
Yeah. Do you need more than one goaltender?
You can just borrow a goaltender from one of the other teams. That's what we always did, like when we were playing roller and stuff. Just ask the guy who would play the game before if he could stick around.
Yeah, yeah. I would actually argue like too. I think Sorokin's had a better season than Shurkin.
They
He's
all
played-
had two goalies last year.
They all
Oh,
had
did,
2
okay.
goalies last year.
So
Yeah.
maybe they'll throw in Sorokin or something. But my point was going to be was that you could put Mika in instead of or Fox instead of Shurkin, and everyone would have been happy. But
I couldn't agree
I
with
don't
you
know.
more. Or
I
even
don't know.
Panarin for that matter.
Yeah,
So also interestingly enough, last year the Pacific Division only sent one defenseman.
Wow.
they also didn't play.
It's
in
3-on-3.
defense,
When you don't need.
The other
yeah.
9 were all forwards.
It is 3-on-3 and it is the All-Star game. You don't need defensemen.
You don't.
I listen, if Barzal does happen to go to the All-Star game, I would love to see the 3 out there of Goudreau with Hughes and Barzal. I think, holy shit, that would be a really fun thing to watch. Just
Yeah. sure.
So what? There's only 3 more players per team, right?
yeah.
And then the 2
Yeah.
goalies.
I mean, who's it going to be?
So yeah, I mean,
It's all fan voting, so they don't have any say. I'm sure
it's not going to be. Yeah, it's
I'm
not
sure
going to
it's
be.
fixed in some.
I feel like
form or
Nathan
another.
Bastian. If ever there were a year, this is his year.
There is a competing Ranger podcast who is trying to get Libor Hayek in. I just don't.
Oh.
I don't think they can have enough votes in order to do that. To be honest with you, I thought that was very fun.
What's
But
even the
let's-
point of pranking the All-Star game?
Let's go around the table. Obviously, Nick thinks Barzell is the next most likely Islander, right?
Yep.
Well, I think it's a toss up between him and Sorokin because Sorokin really deserves it more
Okay.
than I think any of the Islanders. But they're if Shurkin, so I don't know how it's going to work. So personally, I think if the fans are voting, they good chance to be Sorokin, maybe Barzal. I don't know. I don't know how they do it because it's dumb. They don't have. I don't know.
Sorokin's
me.
the most likely other goaltender in the Metro.
I think so.
So who's the next most likely Penguin?
Well, my first 2 choices are hurt. Like I would say maybe Letang or I would say Tristan Jarry, but they're both out. I think guys who might actually be playing, I'd say maybe Ricard Raquel.
Wow.
Not bad. I think for the Rangers, Mika Zibanejad or Adam Fox. I mean, either one of those 2, it's a toss up. You can't go wrong with either one of them.
And likewise, if I had to give 2 names, I would say Heischer or Bratt because it
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like they're the
Bratt.
only. But the 3 of them are the only 3 producing on the team, so
Right.
would make sense. Hamilton's a long shot if they want to go defenseman, but I wouldn't even say him.
I'm looking at the list of the other divisions, and I'm trying to find somebody more or less deserving to be in the All-Star game than Kevin Hayes. And
Oh, no. You're not gonna find
can't,
it.
I can't find one.
No, not a chance.
Because even a shitty team is going to have like a good player.
Well, all right, Clayton Keller for Arizona is on there, and Troy Terry for Anaheim. Elias Pettersson from Vancouver. These are all stars.
But Troy Terry's got a ton of goals this year, doesn't he?
I'm sure you're correct.
They don't have stats.
No, not next to him. It's just a list.
These are all
And
easily.
how many All-Star appearances that they're making. It's his second All-Star appearance, if that makes you feel better. It's Kevin Hayes'
No,
first
he's only
All-Star.
got 12. He's only got 12 goals, 21 assists, 33 points in 41 games this year for Troy Terry.
Say that again.
12 and 21 for 33 points in 41.
Okay.
But he had 37 goals last season.
And where's Kevin Hayes at?
Kevin Hayes, who was a healthy scratch earlier this season,
That was a
It's
couple
wild.
weeks ago.
is now an All-Star.
Kevin
Travis
Hayes on
Kelce.
the season, 10 and 25 for 35 points in 39 games.
All right. So maybe more deserving than Troy Terry. Okay.
Yeah.
Troy
In
Terry
Philly,
can suck.
yeah, it's interesting that Travis Konecki is not the guy. It's over because he's got 41 points in 34 games, 21 goals. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Sounds
Kevin
All-Stars.
Hayes- Kevin Hayes is 35 points in 39 games,
41 and 34 should
which
get it
is-
done.
which is fine. It's okay, but I mean, if you got a guy that's unless he's, I mean, all the Flyer fans are pissed off that he's not there. Like, they're like, they don't understand it. I mean, I don't get it, but hey,
I'm just upset Shane Gahostasper did not make it. Very, very upsetting. Very upsetting. So you have until the 14th with what's today, the 9th? You have till this weekend to make your selections. Everybody do the right thing. If you think your vote matters, it doesn't. Nick, Merry Christmas. I'm sorry you were not in New Jersey, so I could not give you your Christmas present live and in person, but I wanted to make sure that you got one of these, and it was far cheaper to send you.
Don't use a
brand
knife.
new
No, no, no,
ones.
no.
Oh, be careful when you. First
all
off,
the sides.
cut away from you. Cut away from you.
This way, right?
No.
Right this way.
No, as a matter of fact, don't cut into you, please.
Ah!
Never have
So,
to.
Can you get Randy in here to cut this?
I don't know.
I'm a cheap bastard, and it was cheaper to send you brand new ones as opposed to send you the ones that I actually have here. So,
Well,
Go for
it's,
me.
it's a
know
beautiful
why-
Walmart box.
why couldn't I open it? Use a scissor the right way, Steven? It's not like it's got protection.
Oh, what? Oh.
Giggity.
I'll show you.
You're
It's
going to
got
need protection
air.
Oh,
You're
you
gonna
are going to
need
need protection
protection.
when you open this present.
when you open it.
What's in the fucking box? Give me the gun.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, look
Merry
at that.
Christmas.
America's
Just
favorite
listen,
sex toy.
If,
Oh boy.
just in case you wanted to sit and lounge in the pool, or if you get horny, you can always bang one.
Ohio's favorite sex toy.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
brilliant.
The
My kids are loving
inflatable
these.
raft.
Inflatable raft.
Ah,
Mm.
assorted colors for your pleasure.
Rib.
Oh,
Rib for my pleasure.
look at all those colors. Hey, they're all air on the inside.
Listen,
I bet they are.
when I gave the two hornballs in New Jersey theirs, I had to literally peel them off of the rafts. They
Oh,
wanted to
we
blow
get it.
them up right then and there, and just.
I-
go
I
to town.
started to.
I'm
I
sure
ran
he did.
upstairs and used mine.
Went right for it.
For those who are just listening, they are pool rafts. Go back to episodes in probably in the 80s. Go find it in the 80s. Go listen to a couple. But it's in the Steve Summick segment, and it's about a pool raft in Ohio. You'll love it. I'm sure you said something about that in the intro, Bill. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
probably.
All right, let's go to Ride the Metro. Sponsored by Rich Wholesome Nestle Quick. Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. Then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
Nick, the Icelanders not really having a lot of fun out west, are they?
No. So far, 1-3 in the year, and those four of those games happened this past week. Not great out in the West. The new, usually the West Coast, Western Canadian road trip now includes Seattle. So we took the ride on the Pacific Northwest. Seattle and Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton, and didn't go so well. To be honest, only one win against was it? Oh shit! I fucking have my nuts all right. Sucking it up right now, boys.
It was Vancouver.
Vancouver,
Wow.
thank you. 6-2 Vancouver win. The other and the most notable thing about this trip, Barzal has been on a 5-game. He ended up having a 5-game goal streak, and he's all the way up to 11 goals in the year after basically looking like he was going to have 0 goals and 82 assists. So he's kind of corrected course and really been getting the puck in the net. And until he got hurt in the Edmonton game, didn't play in the Calgary game. He basically got they tried him out in the warm-ups, didn't work out, and he didn't play. And so he's but luckily he's actually skating with the practice today with the team. Him and Holmstrom are both skating in practice today. So that was good to see, alongside of Palmieri, who had rejoined the team previously on practice squad. So at least of the 5 major players that are injured right now, 3 of them are back in practice. The other 2 are Pellick and Wallstrom. Both had injuries. Both have been skating or hadn't been with the team for some time. Pellick is now skating. It's like 3 days in a row he's been skating by himself. Wallstrom still not skating. Pretty much both of them had concussions, so that's not great for that. But hey, they're at least Pellick started to skate again, and hoping he can get clear the cobwebs and be back sometime this month. Don't know about Wallstrom, but with Barzal, Holmstrom, and Palmieri all kind of gearing up, it looks like there's a good chance they'll all be playing this week. Tomorrow we have Dallas, Minnesota on Thursday, and Montreal on Saturday. And then 2 more games at home against Washington, Buffalo, and Boston the following week. But 5-game home streak or home game, not streak, but
Stand.
5
We
games
call
in a
them
row.
home stands, Nick.
Thank you, home
You're
stand.
welcome.
So that's going to be great. I get some time home, and there's no back-to-backs until next Wednesday, and they'll have a back-to-back, Boston at home and then Buffalo on Thursday. So really, like a summary, just the team has been inconsistent as shit. They've, sometimes they look like they can hang for a bit and then just hasn't worked out. And they haven't been able to get traction, but they've been missing a bunch of guys. Losing, not having Barzal for the Calgary game was kind of a kick in the dick because he's been playing real well. And if he was in, maybe if he's in, they win that game and make it 2-2, and maybe it's not so bad of a road trip. But 1-3 is not great. Yeah, they really got to get their shit together. So this week's really the outlook is to get the guys back they need to get back, and start to really play a more consistent game. And best time to do that on a homestand. So we'll see how it goes.
Going Boston, Buffalo back to back is a lot better than going Buffalo, Boston.
The thing is, and 2 is that I'm actually more worried about the Buffalo game. Boston, they've played really well. We have the Boston's number. I don't know what it is, but we play really well against them.
Okay,
Buffalo,
so bet big on the Islanders against Boston. Got it.
I would say against Buffalo, because I think we would come off that game on a high and just get beat up by Buffalo. But I think Buffalo's a pretty good team, so that's my feeling about it. But hey, there's a bunch of winnable games there. I don't think and Boston normally would be the team that should be most scared of.
Yeah.
It's actually Carolina coming up down the road. That's in that week will be the one that I think is the hardest game they have. But they play well against Boston, so who knows?
That's
we'll
the hardest
see.
game. Are you kidding me? So I heard this on Sirius today. Out of a total possible 80 points that the Bruins could have gotten this year so far, they've gotten 68. 68 out of a possible 80 points.
Pretty good.
They've been great.
Fucking mind-boggling.
Yes. Yes. They're on pace to have the best record in the history of the league.
140 fucking points.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Sorry. Wow.
Fuck Boston too.
Fuck Boston.
Fuck Boston. the Red Sox and the Celtics, all of
Yeah,
them,
fuck them all.
especially the fucking Patriots.
Fuck the Boston Cannons in the Major League, in the National League lacrosse.
Doesn't Boston own the Penguins?
Fuck them all.
What? The city of Boston doesn't own them.
No, they're
Fenway-
the group in
the Fenway
Boston
group.
owns the Penguins. And speaking of the Penguins,
Fair enough.
they didn't blow a lead on Sunday.
Woohoo! Yeah, they closed one out. They finally had a lead and ended the game with the lead, which was remarkable. I'm not making too much of beating the fucking Coyotes or anything, but hey, a win's a win. When you've had an extended losing streak, that's what you want to do more than anything else. So, in typical Penguins fashion, though, they did rely extremely heavily on their goaltending to win that game in Arizona. Casey DeSmith now getting the majority of the time, filling in for the injured Tristan Jarry, who's supposed to be day to day. So we'll see where that goes. But DeSmith is getting the time right now. Played really, really well against the Coyotes to break that losing streak. So it was that game, and then the only other game they played since we last talked. They've had a light week. They played on Thursday night in Vegas. Vegas got out to a 3-0 lead. It was never close, but I didn't. It was a late game. I didn't really watch the whole thing, but I heard the Penguins played an outstanding second period in that game. They outshot Vegas 20-12, yet they still gave up the only goal of that period. So it seemed like that might have been a turning point. Hopefully, when they started getting their game going, they closed the gap slightly in the third period. It was never really close in Vegas, but that followed up with the Arizona win was a positive. So they're still pretty beat up. In addition to Jari being day to day, they've got Letang on the IR. They've got Petrie on the long term IR. They're going to be out for a while, and then a couple of their fourth line guys, Archibald and Amy Poehler, they're both out too. And I'm not going to minimize how much those guys meant to that the Penguins during their winning streak last month or month and a half ago, or however long ago it was, that fourth line that had Poling and Archibald and Bluger was their best line, but behind the Crosby line. Easily, we're having more impact than the Malkin line or the Carter line. So, having 2/3 of those guys missing is not helping either. But the good news, Ty Smith got his first goal as a Penguin on Thursday against the Vegas Golden Knights. And then, in the game against Arizona yesterday, he coughed up the puck at the blue line on a 5-on-3 advantage and handed them a breakaway going the other way that the Smith had to bail them out of, which was pretty disgusting. They had a 1-goal lead at the time, so that was kind of ugly. But hopefully the Penguins are coming back around. They've got Vancouver and Winnipeg at home later this week before they have to finish the week in Carolina. They have to play Carolina a fourth fucking time. I thought we only had to play everybody 3 times, and there's Carolina sitting there with a fourth game. How do we get that lucky?
Luck of the draw. Some teams in the Metro you get to play 4 times actually, and sometimes you only play 3 times.
Fantastic. So we get the top team the fourth time. That's already beat us 3 times. So the week's gonna end poorly. So I hope they get some points in against Vancouver and Winnipeg, and that's what's going on with the Penguins.
Well, Steve, the Devils had a pretty decent week before heading out to the schedule makers really fucked them over, making them play at Carolina before they go out west. That's really fucked up.
I want to just start off by saying I'm doing this under protest. For those of you at home who might not know how this segment is organized, it's usually the team with the best record throughout the last week goes last.
Right, that was the Rangers. They were 2-1.
So were the Devils.
No, you lost in regulation. We lost in overtime. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, so you're going on points then, not record.
It's the same thing as the NHL standings. People
you're
with
going
the
by
teams with
points.
the regulation.
But the fact that the
wins-
Devils beat the Rangers, they both were 2-1, and the Devils beat the Rangers.
Rangers got a
Is
point.
it tiebreaker?
Fine.
Is this tiebreaker?
It's
Tiebreaker?
fine.
All
We still
right.
got a
Tiebreaker
point in that
issues?
game. You did not get
Okay.
a point in the St. Louis game.
Fair enough. Okay.
So if you want to go points
right.
wise, so let me say it again. Go fuck yourself.
I'm going to edit that part out.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself all the way to the.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's all getting edited out anyway. He said. Let's-
Oh, we didn't even talk about the fucking
Oh.
Super Bowl yet. It's not time. We
Is
can
it
talk
time
about
for
the
the
NFL
retard Super
playoffs. And no, we could talk about the NFL playoffs.
No,
and, like
okay.
be in the Super Bowl later on. But we got to stick to hockey.
Or we don't have to. So, like you said, 2-1 with an overtime win this week. Just
No, it
to
was a
talk about,
regulation loss.
just to
It's
talk about what you were
regulation
saying, though.
loss.
I don't think it's a big deal going to Carolina before they go out west.
Typically,
because-
when you go, I have to go make that Western Coast trip. Usually have a home game or
But
something.
you're talking Tuesday to Friday, though. They got a couple of days off, a couple of days to adjust to the West Coast. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But last week, they played a near perfect game against Detroit, giving up the only goal they let up with 2 minutes left, 5-1 victory. And they followed it up with a game against St. Louis where they were just playing catch up the whole night. They were down 1, they tied it. They were down 2-1, they tied it. And then they gave up 2 goals in the third period, and they just were not able to catch back up. They lost that game 5-3 with an empty netter. Schmid had to play that game because during warmups against Detroit, Blackwood took a puck off the hand, and they said he hurt his hand, and they held him out as a precaution. So are we just done with ever considering playing a goalie on back-to-back nights?
I think
Right,
that's pretty standard across the NHL, I think.
But if your backup gets hurt, why go to your third string? Why not play your goalie on the second night? Especially since he had such a light night against Detroit, why not just come back with him the next game?
Well, it's not like Schmidt has been bad. It's not like you're putting fucking, the worst backup goaltender in the league in there.
No, but he's not an NHL goalie yet. And I feel like to give yourself the best chance to win, yes, St. Louis was coming in a little depleted due to injuries, so maybe they thought it was going to be an easier game. I still think Vanacek would have given him the better chance to win. I would have liked to see him go out there on back-to-back nights. And then that brings us to the Rangers game. Rangers, for the third time these two teams played, one team jumped out to a 2-0 lead, only to give it back.
It's unbelievable.
Devils battled back. Hughes was a monster, 2 goals and an assist. So he had points on all 3 regulation goals. And Severson gets the winner in overtime, his first NHL overtime goal, which was pretty cool to see.
That's fitting.
Devils had
That sounds
20
about right.
The Devils had 27 shots on net before they scored their first goal.
There were some questionable shots there. I don't know. They listen, they played a great game and they're a very explosive team. But the shot totals,
It was their
is that
first.
is that a neutral guy that's counting those?
No,
Or is
it's
that
it's always a
guy
hometown
going,
guy.
Like
No,
like Jack Hughes' father going, oh, yep, that's a shot. Yep, that's a shot.
I don't know
Yep.
if it's Jack Hughes' father. I think he's got other things to do, but
I don't know.
it is a hometown guy.
Okay.
Their first home win since December 6th.
You're welcome.
So just to follow that up, the Devils were in first place on December 7th. Since they've dropped down to second, and Washington is right on their heels, because Washington and Carolina over that span both won 11 games to the Devils 4. So this poor streak that they're on since December 7th, 4-8-2 over that stretch, over those 14 games, has really let teams jump back into this race.
You got 3 games in hand on Washington, though.
It
No,
doesn't
listen,
matter.
I
They're
get it,
playing
doesn't
hot.
matter.
So I'd rather they would have played those games when they weren't playing so well. Like you said, teams getting ready to head out west. They're going to do so probably without Miles Wood, who was helped off the ice today after going down in the corner during practice. Looked like it could be another knee injury for him. John Marino and Nathan Bastian are going to make the trip, which is a good sign. Hopefully we'll get one or both of them back. The last game on this trip is against Seattle. They had claimed Bastion during the expansion draft, so it would be nice, a homecoming for him. I wonder if they play a video. And Jack Hughes, NHL second star of the week over the 3 games. He had 5 goals and 2 assists. Over the last 20 games, he's got 19 goals and 9 assists. So 27 points in the last, 28 points in the last 20 games. This
Pretty
coming
good.
week, they got Carolina tomorrow, Anaheim Friday, LA Saturday, and San Jose next Monday, which will be while we're recording.
Right. Don't expect the goalie to go back to back Friday and Saturday.
No,
I guess that's what you're saying, right?
no.
Well, like for the Rangers this week, 2-1. They got 5 out of a possible 6 points. And look, their monster game this week was, outside of the double game, because that rivalry game is always huge. Was that Carolina game? In that Carolina game, it seemed like when the Rangers scored, Carolina would score 4 seconds later, and it happened not once but twice in that game. And you're beating your head against the glass a little bit, and the Rangers are playing a really good, solid game, and they end up winning the game 5-3 and really putting the wood to the Hurricanes in the third period. They held the Hurricanes to 23 shots on goal for the entire game, 7 in the third period. They out-face-offed them. Power plays Rangers were 3 for 5 on the power play, and Carolina was over 3. Just a good, solid effort coming off of that game in Florida on the road. And then to follow that up, they're going to Montreal on Thursday night. And really, Montreal is not really a good team. But they came out flat, and the Rangers did too for a little bit. They played a very cautious road game. They weren't really taking it to them, but they ended up winning the game 4-1 with a 3-goal output in the second period. And they blow a 2-goal lead to New Jersey on Saturday. And, it's very well stated on this podcast, my feelings on Jack Hughes. And I got to tell you, I'm this close to eating crow on my statements about his contract, because he is a superstar in the NHL, 100%. Having said that, fucking Jacob Trouba, you think you might want to put a body on him? You might want to put a body on him when he's on the fucking circle. It's once a game, Jacob Trouba is just going to give you the puck. He's going to do something fucking stupid in the game that's going to cost this team a goal. Mark my every single fucking game. Watch Jacob Trouba.
What's it going to take for you to consider him, that contract, a steal? Stay healthy the whole year?
A steal?
Yeah.
He's got to score into the 50s. He's got to score 50 goals at least.
What if he scores 100 points? What if he's like a 40-60 guy?
If 40-60, that could potentially be a steal for sure. That's over 100 points. I would agree with that.
A steal, but a steal. How much is his annual value on that
9?
contract?
Is it 9? No, it's not. Is it? I thought it was 9.
It's hard to be a steal. It's hard to be. I mean, it could be a worthwhile contract, but it's hard to be a steal at that point.
He's 22 years old. He is.
Yeah, 8 million. He's 21 right now. It's $8 million a year.
8 million. It's great for 21. He's 21. How many years is it?
It was 8 years, so it goes until the end of 2029, 2030.
David Pastrnak is on pace to score 65 goals this year. They're talking his contract's going to be 8 over 11, 8 over 12, something in that range for Pastrnak. I think $9 million is probably the number. So if he's at 8, then yeah, the Devils are getting a bargain. I don't know if it's a steal, but it's a bargain.
Okay.
Is there a difference between steal and bargain?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
one is 100% free. The other you have to pay for.
Right. So it's a bargain.
A steal means it's a short-term deal that you got the guy for nothing, and he's put up almost point per game or something crazy, or just great goalie or defenseman for nothing for a few years. Like Tavares we had in the Isles for $5 million for I think it was 4 or 5 years. It was 5 years, $5 million. His bridge deal, he was like in the top 5 of scoring every year for most of that that deal. And it was like a giant, discount, but obviously that wasn't going to stand because eventually he makes 12 million or whatever he makes now, 11, 12 million a year. So, I mean, that's a pretty fucking good deal. That was one of the best contracts in the NHL at the time, just because of how little, but it wasn't like a complete, steal. Like we got a good example would be, I think Adam Pelech was like really cheap. It was like 2 million or something for a few years.
How about a
midfield.
Vezina winning goaltender, 5 years, $25 million contract? That is a fucking steal. It's a big bargain.
Pretty close. Yeah.
It's a big, gigantic bargain.
Yeah. Anyway.
But the Rangers really had this game locked up really in the second period, and they just gave the Devils opportunity after opportunity to get back into the game. That's exactly what they did. And before you know it, they're going to overtime. And Zibanejad had a glorious chance in overtime. I don't understand how we did not go to the backhand on that move. That's like his bread and butter rather. Just fucking
starving. We got any butter?
Anyway, like Steve mentioned it, every game this year with the Devils, the losing team jumps out early and only to lose in overtime or the shootout. This week, it's no easy test again. You got home games against Minnesota and Dallas, two very formidable teams coming into the Garden this week. And then you have back-to-back on Sunday and Monday with Montreal and Columbus. Those are two winnable games. Go get those points. And I think if you split the Minnesota Dallas game and you take the 4 points over the weekend into Monday, I think it's certainly a good week before you see Boston next week. So.
And now it's time
for Google Sheets with Nick. You guys forgot Friends and Rivals of Cup.
Why do we have an agenda, Tom?
We weren't going to do that this week.
I thought
in 2 weeks.
I thought that was every other week.
I thought we weren't doing that every week.
Oh, all right. Cut this out.
Why do we have an agenda,
Back to
Tom?
you.
What?
Why even do it if people aren't going to pay attention?
I forgot we were going to do
next.
it. Whatever.
Trivia's on
I
the
looked at it.
agenda.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Why is this guy
jumps
jumping in?
I love it.
You want to get this guy under control?
I love it. No, fuck that. I love it.
Now it's time for Trivia with Bill. Yuck.
Now this is the wrong Bill.
What is the NHL record for the fastest goal from the start of a game?
Do
I
you
know.
want the person or do you want the time?
It is the time.
It's the time. 4 hours.
No, the fastest goal from the start of a game. No NHL game lasts 4 hours unless it's playoff overtime.
16
so
minutes.
faster than, no. The answer is definitely in seconds. It's definitely in seconds.
Okay.
Oh,
680 seconds.
14,000 seconds.
14 seconds. No,
Either of those right?
those are kind of lengthy. Those are a little bit lengthy.
90 seconds.
Oh, better guess. A little quicker than that. That would be a minute and a
That's
half.
what she said.
Or 10
59
seconds.
seconds.
4/10 of a second.
Oh, Nick's got it.
I have not heard the correct answer. It is not
69 seconds.
Oh,
69.
God, Nick always gets that.
Look where his mind's going as soon as he gets those full floaties, and it's all in that 69 mode. 4/10 is a little too quick. Not quite that fast.
13 seconds.
Nope.
12 seconds.
Do you want me to go like higher, lower, or
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't give us any help.
That's incorrect.
2 seconds.
2 seconds is incorrect.
46 seconds.
No, not 46.
8.3 seconds.
No.
A rather specific guess.
We're gonna go with whole seconds here as for an answer. The tenth of a second only happens at the end of a period, so
I'm gonna go Alexander Ovechkin. Seconds.
That would be
does that mean 8?
Bill, that would
Seconds?
Great 8 seconds.
No, not that's very creative. I appreciate it. That was
Guys, it's the NHL. Everything is 99. So I'm going 99 seconds.
no, that's actually. I mean, I feel like we've all seen games where we've seen people score in the first minute. which is less than
Okay,
99
60
seconds.
seconds.
No,
First
I
minute.
mean,
60. You just
no.
said
Well,
the first minute.
that's
Make
the
up
minute
your
and 60
fucking
seconds.
mind, pal.
But that's not like an example, and that was not the answer. I was just saying, I think we could all agree that it's
All right.
less than
Can
60.
we have the multiple choice?
A, 5 seconds.
Oh,
B,
it's 2 round.
1 seconds. C, 30 seconds. D, 34 seconds.
I'm going 34 seconds.
Incorrect.
I don't think it could be that high. I think it's got to be lower.
What
I'm
are we?
gonna
Card
say-
sharks? What are we playing?
Yeah, I'm going to say, Bob, I think that number's got to be lower. I'm going to go with 5 seconds.
It's 5 seconds. 5 seconds is correct.
Oh,
Nice job.
Congratulations, Tom.
and that's a guy that thinks 5 seconds is a long time.
Yeah,
Ask your wife.
There you go.
And now it's time for impressions with Nick.
Fucking great. Ladies and gentlemen, the Friends of Rollins podcast. Ready for the fastest 2 minutes of this Type 45 show. It's the 20 questions power play. Rules are simple. Group has 2 minutes to guess a famous player, coach, front office, or any famous person associated with one of the 4 Friends and Rivals' favorite teams. The group can ask up to 20 questions in rapid fire. The answers will only come in the form of a yes or no. The group will have to make a final guess once they've hit 20 questions and the power play has expired. If the group is successful, they win for the week and avoid shame for unable to win at a children's game. And away we go. All right.
Is this player associated with the Devils?
No.
Person associated with the New York Rangers.
Yes.
This person is associated with another one of our teams.
Yes.
Is this
Penguins?
person associated with the New York Islanders?
No.
Okay, so Penguins.
Penguin Ranger.
Is this a forward?
No.
Is it a defenseman?
No.
You gotta ask because it could
Is
be
it
a
a
coach.
goaltender?
No.
Is it a coach?
Yes.
Ranger
Yeah.
Penguin coaches. Was he a head coach?
Yes.
Is he Canadian?
No.
Yeah, American.
Herb Brooks?
Oh,
Did
yeah,
Herb
Herb
Brooks
Brooks.
coach the Rangers?
Yes.
Ding,
it did.
ding, ding.
Oh, well, then you're wrong. He is associated with the
Well done.
Devils.
Well done.
No. You said player associated with the
Ah.
Devils. I
I-
couldn't.
Did I say player or person?
Player. They said person, and I was like, but I said no because it wasn't player.
Herbie. Boy, we scored on that one. Pretty
Yeah,
quick,
you
huh?
got there. Now, the interesting thing about Herb Brooks, he only was coach for the Penguins and Devils for a single season each, and he was only coach for what 4 or 5 years, the Rangers.
His shtick only worked with college kids.
Yeah.
But asking if he was a Canadian coach, that was a good guess. 'cause
That was solid, Steve. Well
That's
done.
That was-
right, baby.
that was right
That
there,
was
dude.
solid.
Knocked out like all the
Just
coaches.
so y'all know, that brings us up to 6 for 8 lifetime on the power
Damn.
play.
We
He was setting
are
the game.
oh,
Record setting.
wowzers.
They come up with some new ones.
Wowzers. All right, let's go to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Right here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here,
Leave the dog in there. Leave the dog in there. This is going to bring us to the year of our Lord 2015. 2015. Please go to March 12th. March 12/2015.
Was a Thursday.
Come on.
I
Come on,
had a
baby.
Coke Zero Sugar, 20 ounce, and
And come on, hit me.
a pumpernickel bagel.
Oh, happy day!
Wow.
Lunch was a slice of pepperoni pizza and a slice of meatball pizza, also with a Coca-Cola Zero Sugar 20 ounce. And dinner was ribs, mashed potatoes, and corn with a can of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Why did you pick March 12th, 2015?
Obviously, that was the day that police warned neighbors in the neighborhood of Kenmore, that is in Akron, Ohio, that a man was pooping on and inside at least 12 parked cars during the last 3 years.
How adorable.
Jesus. At least it's 3 years. I said 12 park. I thought it was like going around in like 3 hours. I'm like, what the fuck?
Was it
like yeah,
only
There's
that
a lot of poop.
just
No,
the back
so-
of Volkswagens
so the-
or,
so
or
the
what?
man- so very good. So the man on Tuesday, going back into March of 2015, pooped on the hood of a car. But the police chief said in other cases, he smeared the excrement on the door handles.
Ooh.
When the car doors were unlocked, the man pooped on the passenger seat.
Well, that's courteous.
Some residents had their car pooped on multiple times. Man, how do you win that lottery?
You
How do you
gotta,
win that lottery?
you gotta know to lock your door at some point.
But some guy was smart enough to put a camera on his car and caught the perpetrator mid poop. Mid poop.
Poop.
You want to see it?
You have video?
Well, no, I have a picture of the guy. Now, I must tell you that this guy has never been arrested. He has never been caught. After
Zero
this,
pooper.
after
That's
this,
how do they know it's the same guy?
After this hit, well, who the fuck?
DNA.
Leaves a
Multiple people in the same neighborhood are going on pooping on cars, Bill. Listen to yourself sometimes.
It's Ohio.
You're
Leave
so
a
smart
card.
sometimes.
Wait. So if they've got him on video, what would you call it, right? He's obviously not caught red-handed.
No, he's caught
Brown pants?
butt.
Caught brown-eyed?
Well, this is the guy, the suspect.
Tom, you're the only one that'll get this joke. That looks a little bit like Dominic Forcelati.
Listen, I got to tell you, that's the first person I thought of when I.
That
when I
looks
saw
like
that image.
Dominic Forcelati.
It certainly does.
Totally.
This guy was never arrested. They could never match his DNA. And as soon as this news story hit, he stopped.
Oh no, you gotta stop.
And that was it. He never ever pooped on another. Well, never. We don't know he pooped.
We
on
don't.
another
He could have
car
gone international.
because it was never reported.
Tom's a creep. Tom is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
wow.
But these fucking Ohio people, man, there is something wrong in the water in Ohio.
There's
What
something.
is it? Is it Lake Erie? Is it
I mean,
Cleveland?
it's Ohio. What else is there?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Couple
I
of
hear
roller
such
coasters.
wonderful things of Columbus.
Who says wonderful? Johnny Gaudreau is the only person that says wonderful things about Columbus, Ohio.
But
You're right.
and that's what happened March 12th of 2015.
Holy shit, that's gross.
Guy poop. Can you imagine going out to your car in the morning and fucking going to open your car door and you just got a palm full of shit?
That's just go back in the house, wash your hand off, and go back to sleep. Like
No, yeah, day's over at that point.
fucking over. No coming back from that one, boys.
No.
Oh, you
I,
want
I would bet you call the office and you tell them that's what happened. They just give you the day.
You want
They don't even charge you a sick day or a vacation day.
Well, hold on. We have something that I didn't see before. I'm going to take you through the days and the cars. So
No,
October
we're good.
15th.
We don't have to do that. Bill's got it. Bill's got to leave.
I got a
Yeah,
text.
we don't have. Yeah, we
We
don't have
have
to
a
do all that.
2002 Chevy Cavalier.
No, I don't think you heard us. when
July
we said we
15th of
don't-
2014, we have a 91 Chevy Camaro.
Can I just log
December
off for Bill?
3rd, 2013. What do we got here? Nope, doesn't say what that car was. A Toyota Celica, another Chevy Cavalier. My goodness.
All my friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.
Just tell
Tab.
Siri what you're trying to do.
Wow, no, that no. The control command shift and the letter T. That actually
No.
worked.
Oh, it did? Oh,
Yeah.
all right, there you go.